So hello guys, this is Darko and I just reached adventure level 87 and I figured out this is the perfect time to start recording this video. This video will be fire. I'll show you in this video. I'll show you how you can get um, up to I think 460 times your base attack of DPS. So your DPS will be a number of 460 times this attack, and you can get a max HP of no, you can get max HP of 5 times your base HP that you can see here. And that's not I'm not talking about hero adventure mode. I'm talking about normal chapters. So these are the equipments. Oh no. Okay, these are the equipments that I'm be using to reach that level. So, and it doesn't actually matter what hero you get. Just sometimes the Helix one, I won't count the rage from the Helix, but the rest of the heroes doesn't matter. So you can get up to 460 times your base attack in like just with skills and equipment, not counting heroes. And it doesn't need to be a ancient legendary or anything. It just needs to be epic or above. So yes, let's start this video. So let's get this started. This video will be a very short one or a very long one depending on what you want to learn. So let's get to the dream combo. There we go. So as you can see, there was the dream combo and I'll show you what it does. So this dream combo will give you from 90 times more base damage as your DPS up to 460 times more, and an effective HP of 5 times of your base HP. You can get all this with 16 skills and 4 angel skills. And I will show you now the skill set. So what I call roulette skills are the skills you get from leveling up. I'm not including any skills you can get from the gold roulette, that the ones that you can get gold, skill, or heal. Angel skills, and you know what I mean, right? The skills from the angels, usually they are half the effectiveness. So these are the roulette skills. 1 intelligence, 3 attack speed boost, multi-shot, front arrow, rage, ricochet, 2 attack boost, crit master, giant, HP plus, dodge master, agility, invincibility star. In no particular order, you just have to have them to combo it. And then from angel skills, 1 HP boost, 1 strong heart, and 2 crit master minor. Then from the devil skills, 1 extra life and 1 multi-shot. So these are the numbers here for your final base DPS. I'll explain later what is base DPS. It is just a multiplier that I use, a measurement unit that I use to quantify how much your current DPS is based on your base attack. So for single target damage at 100% health, you have 90 times more base damage as your DPS, and at 20% health you shoot up to 163 times, and at 1 HP it is 181 times for single target. And then for multiple target, you skyrocket up to 230 times more your base DPS, your base damage as your DPS. And for 20% health, it goes up to 413 times. And at 1 HP or 1% health, you get 460 times. So stick around if you want to see how I reached those numbers, and I'll show you also the defensive stats. So a good build doesn't have only attack. If you get one shot by anything, there is no meaning for your build. So here I present to you the defensive aspect of my build. You get in total 292% base HP. That's practically 3 lives more worth of HP. And on top of that, you have 54% dodge rate at 20% or HP or less, and almost 25% damage reduction, 40% hard drop rate, 80% hard heal rate, and 1/6 of the time you are invulnerable. So if you don't have any idea of how these all defensive stats means and how they work together, in this video I'll calculate for you, and the answer is you can survive up to 5 times more of your if you don't have any defensive stats at all. So you get 5 lives. So this is it for people who are not interested in the math. You would just need to believe in me that these skills can get you those numbers. And also, I'm doing this video because I see a ton of people picking up elemental arrows thinking that they will increase a significant amount of DPS, and that's not true at all. Elemental arrows are trash. Sylvan's elemental arrows are also trash. They are not worth your money. And instead of picking up elemental arrow damages, it is better to pick up defensive stats. So in this video I'll be showing you the math behind it, and stick around if you want to know how I calculate everything, or how the game calculates it, and how I got to 16 skills and 4 angel skills, and why these numbers are so high, because they are very fucking high. So for those who are not interested, thank you for watching. See you the next time. And for those who are interested, let's get started, because the math is fun. So first of all, I'll need to introduce you the base damage per second. So this is a number. This is a percent. A number in a measurement unit that I use to calculate things. So for example, if your base damage per second is 100% and you have 5,000 base damage, it means you deal 100% of 5,000, that is 5,000 as your DPS. So your DPS is 5,000. And if you increase this 100% to 1,000% through skills or anything, your current DPS will be 50k, because it is 10 times 5,000. Get it? So now I'll show you some of the skills number. I got most of them from Archero fandom wiki, and others from other YouTubers, especially the elemental, the circles, strike, meteor, stars, and swords. I got them from another YouTuber, but I won't pick up any of them. They are bad, not as bad as elemental arrows. and because I got them from other YouTuber because the wiki isn't updated. And other things I tested out myself. So the things that I picked up in this video, I did test them out myself. So it starts with one thing that I need to tell you that maybe you don't know is that attack boost, multi-shot, front arrow, and attack speed boost, they all increase or decrease your damage by a flat amount. That means each time you pick up attack boost, you get 30% of your base damage, and your base damage does not increase during a chapter run. That means it will always increase a flat amount of damage. So, and that applies to each arrow. So if you're shooting more than one arrow, you increase double with attack boost, or you get it. It increases base damage to each arrow. And multi-shot decreases 10% base damage to each arrow, but you get one more attack. It also decreases attack speed. So one more important thing is Ricochet. Projectiles bounces up to 3 times between nearby enemies, but damage is reduced by 30% per ricochet. And this skill is multiplicative. And it means it multiplies your current DPS by a certain amount of numbers. So it bounces up to 3 times means that it hits 3 more enemies besides the first one. So it hits 4 enemies total. So the first one will receive 100% of your damage, base damage. And then the second one will receive 30% less. And the third one will not receive 40%. That's 0.7 minus 0.3. The third monster will receive 30% of the previous 70% of your previous 70%. So it is 0.7 squared. And the fourth monster will receive 0.7 cubed. So adding them up all together, you get 2.533 as a multiplicative stat. This is the strongest multiplicative in the whole game. So Ricochet is a very strong skill. That is if there's 2 monsters or more. And then I think this is the most important thing. One more little thing is Giant does not increase your size by 20%. It only increases by 10%. This got updated on patch 1.4.7 with the rest of the elemental skills. And also it increases your base HP by 5%. That will make a difference later. Attack plus, crit plus, speed plus, those are the numbers. And then for elemental arrows, I'll calculate from the Sylvan stats, which are very high, way higher than the normal elemental arrows. I'll also calculate the normal elemental arrows for a few moments, but the Sylvan's lightning arrow deals 68% of current damage to enemies. And one thing that is very important in the elemental arrows aspect of damage to enemies is that they don't trigger twice with multi-shot nor front arrow. Having 2 multi-shot also does not trigger it twice. So if you see, it doesn't mean that the arrows does not include the elemental aspect. It means that even though the first arrow and the third arrow from if you get 2 multi-shot, the first and the third arrow are imbued with lightning element. They don't trigger twice. So the third arrow does not trigger lightning damage from one single attack. So the next one is freeze arrow. It is the same. It does not trigger twice. And for freeze arrows, freeze skills, it freezes enemy for 2 seconds, and if you attack it during this time, it get unfrozen. So, and it can get unfrozen by anything. So usually it doesn't get frozen for 2 seconds. It gets frozen for a fraction of a second because you're constantly attacking. That means as soon as it gets frozen, it will get unfrozen and its attack will reset. Just as you do stutter step, it attack will increase. So yeah, freezing arrow just make enemies attack faster. Now the Sylvan's poison arrow does not stack as the same as the normal poison arrow. So attacking multiple times with poison arrow does not make it stack. It always will do 80% base damage per second, and that's it. It doesn't increase with rage. It doesn't increase with attack. Nothing. It doesn't scale. And the Sylvan's fire arrow also does not scale. It deals 30% base damage 4 times per second, and some say it takes 3 times per second. I'll use it 4 just because it doesn't matter. It is trash the same way. And the normal fire arrow is 18% damage per second. No, 72 damage base damage per second. And then those are the numbers for stars, meteors, circles, swords, strikes. And then for defensive stats and other strange skills. So for HP boost, it is 20%, HP plus 35.2. I think they nerfed it. It was 40% earlier. It was 40% before the update, before the 1.4.7. Dodge Master, Agility, Strong Heart, Grace, Invincibility Star, Slow Projectile, 1 headshot. And then let's start with the numbers. What about attack speed? Everybody has different attack speed. They start step differently, but there's one thing that is constant in this game from account to account, is that there is attack speed limit in this game. And that's pretty easy to reach. You just need to have 2 multi-shot and 3 attack speed boost. And stutter step. Yeah, you need to stutter step perfectly with this amount of attack speed. And it works even if you are using depth size. And here are a clip of me having 6 attack speed minor. That's the same as 3 attack speed boost and 2 multi-shot. And I'm using Sylvan, which does not have increased attack speed built into the hero stats. I do have increased attack speed from runes and talents. That is a total of 13. Yeah, 13%, I think. But you can also get it yourself. So this is the clip of me getting to at max attack speed and actually getting over max attack speed. To know that, you just need to notice that my hero keeps shooting even after I keep moving. Usually you don't shoot after you move because that's how the game works. But since I'm shooting after I move, it means that those arrows were backed up because my attack speed was higher than the max attack speed limit. That means it will get shoot later, even after I move. Okay, so yep, I can have. I didn't use my shade to have increased attack speed in game. I just used my Sylvan. So you can't get to max attack speed with just 2 multi-shot and 3 attack speed boost. And I calculated it. I start frame by frame, you can shoot up to 9 arrows per second, 9 times per second. So you can attack 3 times per second. Each time you attack shoots out 3 arrows. Or if you're using front arrow, this gets doubled and you shoot 18 arrows per second. And if you're using diagonal arrow, that is 36 arrows per second. So the next one, let's determine how much skill we can get in one chapter run. So as you already know, not all chapters you can get to max level. And if you're using, I'll be using smart, and it raises your max level, so it is even higher to reach max level. So this is where the bright robe comes in clutch. It is bright robe is just a very fucking OP item. So bright robe makes you get to max level in all chapters, including 7 and 14. So you get 11 skills. And here's a clip of me getting to max level without intelligence in chapter 7 and 14. In chapter 14. So now that you got to max level without the intelligence, I'll show you another clip that I got to max level even before the boss with intelligence. So that is 13 skills. That clip is from close-up dangers, so it is only 20 stages, and you can get up to max level even with you can get up to 13 levels. So one more thing that Bright Robe gives you, and that is so OP, is that you get 30% base HP as a bonus. Each level you get 3%. Since you can get up to 13 levels, you get 36% base HP as free HP. So the next one that increases the number of skills I get is the angels. So normally you get 5 skills, angel skills from 50 stages chapter, 3 in 30 stages chapter, 4 in 20 stages chapter. And I'll also count the skills you can get from Enlightenment book. You can get up to 3 skills in all chapters, including 7 and 14, if you charge it up properly. And you only need Enlightenment book epic rarity or below. Even level 1 Enlightenment book, common level 1 Enlightenment book can get you at least 2 skills per chapter. Yes, including 7 and 14. And if you level it up, or yeah, just level it up, you can get more. You can get up to 3. And I don't have an perfect epic Enlightenment book, but it makes a ton of difference. So the next one is the skills you get from Angel's Gold Roulette. So I won't be counting those on any other chapter other than 7 and 14, because 7 and 14 don't have angel chapters, angel skills. So you'd have to get them from Gold Roulette. But since this is a dream comp, I will take some of them. So you can get. I'll take 4 of them. So angel skills worth less, and roulette skills are the same as. Sometimes are the same as angel skills. Sometimes they are better than angel skills. So with 9 roulettes, you can in the dream scenario you can get a skill that's worth twice of angel skills, and other skills that is worth the same as normal roulette's angel skills. So with the I chose a mean number of 4 angel skills for every chapter. So now now we got the total amount of normal roulette skills and angel skills. Let's start building up our dream combination. So 3 attack speed boost. I'll start with 3 attack speed boost to guarantee you reach max attack speed limit, and 1 skill point for intelligence. Then let's move to the clearly most OP skills everyone agrees on. 2 multi-shot and 1 front arrow. And one of the multi-shot is from the devil, so it doesn't count as roulette skills. So with 2 multi-shot, 1 front arrow at max attack speed limit, you get 18 arrows per second, and each one of them deals 100% of your base damage minus 10, minus 10, minus 25. So each arrow deals 55% of your base damage. And since I'm using Death Scythe, Death Scythe's multiplier comes in handy here. So it is 18 times 1.45 times 55% of your base damage. And that equals to 1,435% base damage per second. That is 14 times already. So your damage per second is 14 times your attack, your base attack. So that cost me 6 skills, and because one multi-shot is from the devil and not a roulette skill. So now we also have crit chance and crit damage. So let's put it in our calculation. So my account's crit chance is 26% total. 15% comes from the natural, so you naturally have 15%. Then 4% from foreign, 2% from Tyrannis, 5% if you use Helix, Shade, or Shari. Since I use Shade or Helix a lot, I'll be taking those 5%. And my base crit damage multiplier is 290%, and 200 of them is from the natural. So you naturally deal twice the damage if you crit. You can increase this by unlocking Uracil, Helix, Bony, hero stats, global hero stats. 15% is from the bracelet, and 20% is from the lion ring. So in total it is 290%. And this makes my new DPS, base DPS, to 2144%. So the way I calculate it is that you take your normal DPS times the chances that you don't crit. The chances that you don't crit, that is 0.74%, plus the times that you crit multiplied by the crit damage multiplier. So that's how you get base DPS. So now let's adding 1 attack boost, that is 30% more base damage to each arrow. and let's see what happens. So instead of 55%, it gets 85 now, and the damage jumps to 3,314% base damage per second. And this is increase of base damage per second by 1,169%. This increase in base damage per second is more than 16 times the base damage per second of a normal fire arrow, and over 9.5 times the base damage per second of Sylvan's fire arrow. And also it increases your DPS by 54.55%, and that's insane. So that's the importance of attack boost for the if you have multi-shot and front arrow. If you don't have it, as soon as you get multi-shot and front arrow, it will get this efficiency. So this is insanely good combo, and this shows you that the elemental arrows are trash and the Sylvan's elemental arrows are also trash. It gets less than 10 times of Sylvan's Sylvan's elemental fire arrow. So I have a question for you guys. If an fire arrow appears and a strong card skill appears, which one will you choose? There's a clear answer. Pause the video and think about it, or you don't need to pause it because I think it was made clear enough. So if you choose Sylvan's fire arrow, your new base damage per second will be your previous base damage per second plus 120%, and this gives me an increase of DPS by 3.62%. And if you choose a normal fire arrow, your base damage per second will increase by 72%, and that's increase of DPS by 2.70%. Do you think 40% drop rate and heal rate is worth more than 2.70% increase in DPS? Or do you think Sylvan's passive is good? Do you think Sylvan is good? So you can ask me, oh, but Sylvan has 4 elements. You gotta add them all together to make the total Sylvan's elemental damage. And I'll simply add them up together, but so that you know, each arrow doesn't trigger all 4 elements at once. So the damage that I'll reach is not even the real damage. It is the damage that I'm reaching here is higher than the real damage. So let's calculate how much Sylvan's elemental damage does. So at max attack speed, you can shoot up to 3 attacks per second, and each attack shoots 6 arrows in this case, but it doesn't matter how much arrows you shoot because they don't trigger more than once. So it gets activated 3 times per second, the elemental arrows. So Sylvan's electric arrow gives 0.68 times your base attack, your current attack actually, times 3, that is 173%. And poison arrow is 80%, ice arrow is your current damage, your current base damage, your current damage, times 10% times 3, that is 25% base damage per second. And the fire arrow is 120. So adding them all together, it gives you 400% base damage per second, and that equates to 12% increase in DPS. And you may think, oh, that's a lot, 12%, but that is not even the real number. The real number is lower, and we are only starting to build our dream combination. This number will drop even more. And also, that's a paid hero. Its hero skill is worth less than Mjolnir's hero skill is worth less than Helix's hero skill, worth less than Ayana's hero skill. Ayana's hero skill gives you 20% increase in DPS, and it only gets higher, not lower, as you build your dream combination. And it doesn't. Don't get me started with Shade. Her hero skill is broken, so broken. Yeah, Sylvan's hero skill is elemental damage is like so bad. This 12% will drop a lot. I'm not even talking about multiple enemies yet. This is just single target damage, and we are not even close to ending our dream skill comp, and it already is very bad. So the next one is I'll calculate for the normal elemental arrows. Electric one, 25% of 3 times per second, 75 base damage per second. Ice arrow, then poison. Any one of them will give you less than 3% increase in DPS. This is why elemental arrows are so pathetic and worthless. They are not worth. They are not worth. It is less than 3% increase in DPS. Will you choose survivability or 3% increase in DPS? I don't think 3% increase in DPS or even lower, because this number will drop a lot more the more skills we get. And then the circles deals 85% of current damage. The swords deals 131. Strike deals 165. They are a lot better than elemental arrows, but since their attack speed is low and they are very short range, and the strike misses a lot, I don't think they are very good either. The meteor skills are much better than circle and sword and strike, because they deal 210 current damage each hit, and they are long range and don't miss as much, but they are still not good. The best of all elemental skills are the stars. They deal 90% current damage each hit and hit multiple times, and they don't miss a lot. They are quite fast. They don't pollute your screen, and the most important of all, they combo with Ricochet. As I told you earlier, Ricochet increases your multiplier by 2.533. So yeah, because stars combos with Ricochet, as Ricochet is the strongest skill in the game, the stars is the best elemental skill of everything. But I don't think they are worth more than the strong card. Strong card is just too strong. When I mean strong card, I mean any defensive stats. I'm not specifically saying strong card is better. I mean strong card, HP boost, invincibility star, dodge chance, like dodge master, agility, that is the 30% dodge rate one. All of them are better than elemental damage, making you survive longer. Has more value than you think. You can just face tank something and don't die. So we got 9 roulette skills and 4 angel skills left. So let's finish our defensive and utility build first. So we use 20% of our base damage, base HP to buy 1 multi-shot, and we will use 30% of base HP for an extra life. And this leaves us with 50% base HP and that is very, very bad. We got half alive. We get half. We actually don't get any more extra HP. Our base HP is the same as before double because of double with double life of half HP. That's the same as 100% base HP. So our goal is to have 150% of our base HP. And because of extra life, we get 300% base HP. And that is equivalent to 3 lives of HP. That's enough for you, right? You get 3 lives. With the right rope, 1 HP plus and 1 HP boost, and also 1 giant, we get a total of 146.2% base HP for each life. That's close enough, right? And we use 2 roulette skill and 1 angel skill for this. So the bright robe will give you 36%, HP plus 35.2, 1 HP boost 20%, 1 giant 5%. And this is what I have. So that is very, very close to 300% base HP. That is very close to 3 lives already. And I want more, even more defensive stats. I want some dodge chance to top our survivability, so I'll get both of them, the dodge master and the agility. I also want heals to sustain me, so that when I take damage, I can recover very fastly. So I'll get 1 strong heart because of lack of angel skills. And if I had more skills, I would get 1 more strong heart. Also, this makes my healing shoot up to 20% from Onir, 40% from strong heart, and 30% or 20% from Helix. And also I want utility, so I will get invincibility star. So this concludes my survivability skills. In total, we used 5 roulette skills and 2 angel skills to get 292.4% base HP with 54% dodge rate at 20 HP or less, 24% damage reduction because of equipments, 40% hard drop rate, 80% hard heal rate. The 90% here is from the Miaujik, but since I'm using Helix or Shade, I chose the Helix one because of the 20%. Helix gives you 20%, not 30% of Miaujik. So 80% hard heal rate. You are healing more. You can tank more. You can dodge more. You get more invulnerable. So 1/6 of the time you are invulnerable because of invincibility star. So you are pretty much unkillable. Like you can AFK in most chapters and you won't even die. So now we have 4 roulette skills and 2 angel skills left. So obviously I'll choose the Rage and Ricochet. And then the last 4 skills, the 2 roulette skills and 2 angel skills, will be either attack boost or crit master. So let's calculate which combination will give us the most DPS. So I got a giant from the survival skills. So let's calculate our current DPS, base DPS. So as you remember there, 18 times attack, 18 arrows per second times 1.45 from the death scythe, 55 plus 30 because of attack boost, and now we got a giant, so plus 40%. And then the crit chance plus non-crit chance plus crit damage plus times crit chance. and that gives us 4,874% base damage per second at 100% HP. So that's our current base damage per second now. So let's see who gives us more base damage per second, attack boost or crit master. So attack boost gives us 30% more base damage per second. No, 30% more base damage to each arrow, and that increases our attack to 6,000%. And that is increase of 24% increase in DPS. So as you can see, it is less than 30% increase in DPS, and it is also less than the 54% that I calculated earlier. And this happens because my base attack is already over 100%. As you can see, it is 125 now, so plus 30, it will get to 155. And also, attack boost this is what people mean by diminished returns. This is called diminished returns. The more you get attack boost, the less it will increase your DPS. So let's calculate the crit master. The crit master will give us 10% crit chance. So from 0.74 of non-crit damage, it drops to 0.64 of non-crit chances, times 3.3, that is 40% more crit damage, and 0.36, that is the crit chances. So my DPS will shoot up to 5,900. So it is a little bit less than the attack boost. So attack boost wins, so we will take attack boost. So here is an interesting thing. Unlike other boosters, crit master doesn't have diminished returns. So in other words, you get less of the second attack boost than the first one. That's what I showed you. The second one got 24% only. It got so much less than the first one because I got the giant skill also. So that's why from 54% dropped to 24%. But normally it doesn't drop so much because of I got a giant that is like a second one attack boost. So that's like the third attack boost that I'm getting. So the third attack boost will drop to 24% only. So just look at what happens when I make a comparison the second time. Now the attack boost will not give me 24%, but the crit boost will still give me 24% because I haven't 22.36% because I haven't picked it up yet. So knowing that the attack boost will give me diminished returns, I here calculate it, and it gives me only 19.35% increase in DPS, and as expected, that is less than before, and this is what diminished returns means. And then the crit master will give me the same as before because it only modifies this part of the equation. So my new DPS will be 3,400%. That is that's more than the attack boost. So let's get crit master, and crit master increases me of 22.36%. That's more than attack boost. So knowing that attack boost will give me diminished returns, so let's keep getting more crit master. So finally, the last crit master, that is two minor combined, two minor skills from the angel combined. So there we go. The 64% dropped to 54%, and then 3.3 crit damage multiplier goes up to 3.7. Crit chances goes from 36% to 46%, and that increases my DPS to 9000% base DPS per second, and that is increase in DPS of 22.65%. And as you can see, it didn't reduce from the last time, and that is what matters. So if you get one more crit master, you will get more than 22.65% increase in DPS. So you get me right? If you get more attack, if you get more skills from endless run or something else, keep getting more crit master, and that you will get even more increase in DPS. So, but there is an obvious limit to how much crit master can give you before it gets diminished returns the same way as attack boost. So that happens when you reach 100% crit rate, and it is better to get more attack boost or defensive skills after that, because it drops hard. It DPS will get so much diminished returns that you have no idea. So it will be better to get attack boost or defensive skills. And also attack speed boost is useless after 3, because you reach max attack speed. You won't get any more attack increasing DPS if you get more than 3 attack speed boost. So yeah, attack speed boost is the weakest out of all 3 of them. But 3 of them, before 3 attack speed boost, it is actually good to have them. So that concludes the offensive part, the calculation for offensive base damage per second. So for final DPS, for single target, it is those values that you see there at 100% HP, and at 20% HP you multiply by 1.8. At 1 HP, that is like 1%, you multiply it by 2. And then for multiple target, as you can remember, the Ricochet multiplier is 2.533 at any HP, right? So you get your single target damage multiplied by that, and you get the multiple target base damage per second, and then multiply it again by 1.8 to get your 20 at 20% HP, and by 2 at 1% HP. And this is how I got these numbers. So now let's try out how much Sylvan's elemental damage sums up to. So electrical damage is 3 times 68% of 155% because of each arrow, and that gives me 316% base damage per second. Poison damage, fire, doesn't change, and ice damage, it gives me 3 times 10% of 155%. That is 46% base damage per second, and a total damage of 562 base damage per second. So for multiple targets, I will simply multiply this number by 4 because of Ricochet, but keep in mind that the value that you're seeing is about the real value is about half of what I'm about to show you. So it is because Ricochet usually bounces between 2 targets, and sometimes it bounces between 3. It rarely bounces between 4, and if it does, it won't do it constantly. So bouncing between 4 enemies is an ideal situation for elemental damage. But that rarely happens. Usually it happens between two targets. So the number is actually less than half, because first of all, it doesn't apply all elemental damage at the same time. Second, it doesn't bounce between 4 targets, it bounces usually between 2. So the number you see here is, of 250% base damage per second is actually around 1000 only. So for Sylvan's ideal condition elemental damage DPS percents, for single target it is 6.2% only at 100% HP, and this drops about exactly to the half at 1 HP. So Sylvan's total ideal condition elemental damage gives you 3% more damage at 1 HP. That's 3% more. So Sylvan is not worth your money. And for multiple targets, it should be half of what you're seeing here. So it is less than 5% more increase in DPS for multiple targets at 100% HP, and less than 2.5% increase in DPS at 1 HP. And that is so sad. Like, this is like, why would people use Sylvan over other heroes if his unique passive will give you an ideal situation of not even 10% more damage, increasing damage? The time that the Sylvan has more value is at the start of the run of the chapter, and the start of the chapter is the easiest part of the chapter. If you want to clear the chapter, the entire chapter, you have to tackle the end of the chapter, not focus on the easy part of the chapter. Having more damage at the start of the chapter where it is so easy, it doesn't make any sense, because when you really need damage at the end of the chapter, because that's when it is harder, you don't get any more damage. Having more damage at the start of the chapter doesn't make any sense, because that's not the hard part. You need damage for the hard part, and when you reach the hard part, you don't get any more damage. So that's Sylvan's elemental damage, and that is the powered up version of the elemental arrows. If the powered up version of the elemental arrows gives you less than 5% increase in DPS at most, then yeah, elemental arrows are just worthless, not even worth your skill. Don't bother picking them up. So recapping our roulette skills and angel skills: 1 intelligence, 3 attack speed boost, multi-shot, front arrow, rage, ricochet, a 2 attack boost, crit master, giant, HP plus, dodge master, agility, invincibility star, HP boost, strong heart, 2 crit master minor, extra life, 1 multi-shot. And also the defensive aspect of my build, as you can see here, the same as before. So now I'll show you how those stats work together. So to give you an example, I'll choose a generic 10k base HP account in chapter 13. So usually you when you get up to chapter 13, you already have 10k base HP because of the new talents, new runes. Yeah, it is pretty easy to get 10k base HP in chapter 13. So I'll also use the strongest hit from the chapter 13, that is the 4.5k at later stages of chapter 13. Each hit will hit you for 4.5k, and without any defensive stats, you will you will die in third hit. So that's it. You will die in 3 hits. So let's start calculating how much those defensive stats will increase the effective HP, your effective HP. So since you reduce the damage the enemy does, it increases your effective HP by, where is it? Oh, here in this line at the top. So 24% base damage reduction makes your effective HP bigger, so you get 292% of your base HP divided by 1 minus 24676. So your base HP will get to 388%. And then since you can survive, then now you can survive 5 hits without factoring the dodge rate. Now I'll show you how to calculate the mean value of the dodge rate. So for example, if you have a 99% dodge rate and you would die the next hit, what do you think the mean value of hits will kill you? So at what number of hits will kill you? So if you are very unlucky, you can die on the first hit. If you are very lucky, you can die after 1,000 hits. That's how RNG works. But the mean value of it is, since you have 1% chance of getting hit, then it only makes sense that you will die on a 100th time, 100th hit. And this is a sum of an infinite sum of the geometric progression numbers. So at the first hit, you have a 99% chance of surviving, and that adds up to your mean value death count, death hit count. So after dodging the first hit, you have another 99% of dodging the second one. So your chances of dodging the second one is actually 0.99 squared. So as you can see the pattern, to dodge the third hit, you will need to dodge the first 2 and also the third one. So your chances of dodging 3 hits are 0.99 cubed, and you keep adding up together, and that is until you dodge an infinite amount of times with almost 0% chance. To dodge infinite amount of time, you literally have 0% chance. That's why the sum of infinite numbers of geometric progression numbers are actually finite. So that means there's a formula for this. It is 1 over 1 minus the ratio. This time the ratio is 99%. So it is 0.99, and that gives me 100. So this is it. It makes total sense that you would need 100 hits to die in a 1% chance, because you die 1% chance of being hit is exactly this. You need only 1 in 100 to die. So knowing this, I'll spare you the math, because the dodge chance modifies at what percentage HP you have, and also what items are activated or not, because 20% less HP will activate the amulet. And after, I'll do another video calculating why dodge build is so bad, and not so bad, but dodge build is bad and the damage reduction is much better. But for now, I'll just give you the answer. So instead of dying on the third hit, you now get a mean value of 7.38 hits for each life, and that is a total of 14.7 hits, because now you get an extra life. Pretty good, right? This makes you survive 5 times more hits than not having anything at all. And I didn't even count in 6 of the time you don't take damage, and also you have 40% more hard drop rate and 80% more hard heal rate. So that is more than 5 times base. You can survive more than 5 times than the normal. Since you got damage reduction, your heals are worth more too. So you are practically immortal with just these 7 defensive skills. And you can play shit like me and don't die because of correct skill combination. So since this topic is very math heavy, I can make another video on how the game calculates the damage reduction and dodge rate and their effectiveness, and how they work together, and why dodge build is overshadowed by the damage reduction build. And if you're running the endless mode, the number of skills get bigger. It gets around 30 skills and 20 angel skills at stage 200, and stage 400 you get even more skills. So I can make another video for this, for the endless mode. There are other skills which increases your DPS by at least 100k, not exaggerating. The other skills which can increase your survivability by a ton, yep, that's exaggerating. But so leave a comment to let me know what video to work next. And that's a summary. You get from 90 times to 460 times your base damage as your DPS, and an effective HP of 5 times your base HP with only 16 skills and 4 angel skills in any chapter you go. So this video is more like what end goal you should be going for in each chapter. That's the dream scenario. That's why it's called dream skill set. So work towards this skill set so that you can get a ridiculous amount of effectiveness out of each skill, because everything works together, not separately. Because they combo together, they are stronger they are more than sum of their parts, because they are multiplicative. Okay, thank you for watching. This was a very long video for those who wanted the math, and very short one for those who didn't want the math. Thank you either way. If you reached this part, that's very impressive. Listening to me blabbling about numbers for this game. This is a very simple game actually. That's why I can make these videos. That's why the answers are so defined, because this is a very simple game. other RPGs games have so much math involved in it that it mostly comes down to game preferences instead of best meta, like meta game. But Archero, like, it has a little bit of game preferences, but most of it is meta game. And if you learn it doesn't take long to learn each weapon. So learn all the weapons and figure out where they are the best. And good luck to those who want to clear the game. I hope this helped you. And thank you for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye.